Right off the bat, the president began to set the tenor of his speech by going native and articulating himself to the nation. Among the salient talking points that stood out in his 80-minute speech, increased and broadened vaccination coverage on kids, inclusion of children of four-piece beneficiaries to free college education, and a stern warning to shady rice traders manipulating grain prices. But as our Kenneth Paciente reports, his harshest tirade he directed to government officials who skim off the top of infrastructure projects and vowed to hold into account pending a DPWH report he ordered post-haste.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. laid out one by one the country's achievements in various aspects over the past year of his administration during his fourth State of the Nation address. On the economy, the president showcased that the nation's economic state is strong, investor confidence has risen, inflation has gone down, and jobs have increased. However, he said the government will not stop reaching higher. He emphasized that concerned government agencies will continue to work hard to address the needs of Filipinos.
Magpupursige ang DOLE, DTI, DSWD, kasama pati ang DOT at mga kaugnay na ahensya sa paghahanap ng paraan at ng mga oportunidad para sa natitirang 4% ng ating puwersang manggagawa na hanggang ngayon ay walang trabaho. Ipagpapatuloy natin ang pagbibigay ng puhunan sa mas marami pang negosyante para makapagsimula ng maliit na negosyo o micro-enterprise sa mababang interes at walang kolateral. Pati na rin ang kapital at proteksyon para sa mga yamang isip. At para sa mga tinataguyod natin mula sa kahirapan, patuloy tayong nagbibigay ng libreng training at puhunan para makapagtayo sila ng sariling negosyo. Hindi tayo titigil hanggang halos 2.2 milyon maralitang pamilya ay matutulungan natin na magkaroon ng kanilang sariling maliit na negosyo.
On education, the president said he recognizes the challenges students face. Thus, he mentioned that there is a strong push to improve the education system, including the implementation of the Academic Learning Recovery Accessible Learning or ARAL program, as well as early childhood care to ensure that children are given attention at a young age. Although he noted that remedial classes and other DepEd programs have been effective, he also assured a focus on building additional classrooms.
Sa nakaraang 3 taon, halos 22,000 silid-aralan ang nabuksan na. Hihigitan pa natin ito dahil talagang nakakaawa ang ating mga mag-aaral. Hindi na natin dapat nabibitin ang oras nila sa klase dahil sa kakulangan ng classroom. Katuwang ng pribadong sektor, sisikapin nating madadagdagan pa ng 40,000 silid-aralan bago matapos itong administrasyon. Maglalaan tayo ng sapat na pondo para rito. Alang-alang sa mga ating mag-aaral, hihilingin ko ang buong suporta ng ating Kongreso.
The president also highlighted addressing teachers' needs, providing internet in schools, and continuing free college education. On healthcare, the president featured the government's initiative called Bukas, as well as the expansion of PhilHealth services such as free treatment for heart attacks, open heart surgery, and more.
At may Cancer Assistance Fund po tayo. Pandagdag para sa pagpapagamot ng mga cancer patient natin. May pondo rin para sa bakuna laban sa human papillomavirus na nagiging sanhi ng maraming klase na cancer. Para naman sa ibang klase na cancer na hindi sakop ng PhilHealth, meron po din tayong nilaang 1 bilyon at 700 milyong piso para pambili ng mga kinakailangang gamot para sa ating mga pasyente.
Meanwhile, the president asserted that the government continues to strengthen the country's foreign policy and reiterated that the Philippines is an enemy to none.
Gayon din, dahil sa ating masigasig ng pakikipag-ugnayan, sa loob ng 3 taon, nagawaran ng kapatawaran ang mahigit 600 kababayan nating nahatulan dahil sa sari-saring paglabag sa batas sa ibang bansa, lalo na sa UAE, sa Qatar, sa Bahrain, at sa iba pa. And so, for their crucial and most beneficent sovereign intervention, I personally convey the entire nation's sincerest gratitude to the Sultanate of Oman, the United Arab Emirates, the State of Qatar, the Kingdom of Bahrain, the State of Kuwait, and to all The leaders of various countries that have granted clemency and have shown kindness to our beleaguered compatriots.
In the final part of his speech, the president stressed that he will not approve the proposed budget if it's not aligned with the needs of the Filipino people, even if the government would have to continue to deliver services and function on a reenacted budget. Kenneth Pasyente from the National TV Network for a new and better Philippines.